The third step, the third step is to get attention, is to promote your show, and not only promote your show, but promote it after it's already been aired. So you really want to get attention. You want to grow your audience. You want to convert them into attendees at the beginning and getting them to show up. But you also want to, after the show has been aired, you want to use the show to grow that audience even more and engage with them. So what is it you can teach your ideal audience? When you're promoting your show, you want to think about what it is you can teach them. Right now we're performing this via Facebook Live. So one thing you can do, one thing I do, I'll just sort of go through my authority acceleration blueprint, is from the show I'm getting it transcribed, and then that transcription is getting turned into blogs and books and social posts, and then the video is actually getting edited, turned into a video podcast and an audio podcast, and it's getting cut up into various clips, and then those clips are going to be used for content as well. So we'll do very specific clips, and we'll promote those and create engagement using those as well. So all of this is done to promote the show in the future, as well as to promote myself, my brand, and the solution that I offer and how I can help who my ideal target market is. So promoting the show using the content from the past shows, and you can use things like Facebook ads or Google ads or things like that as well. Putting clips on YouTube for promotion. That's a great way for promoting your show, but there's a lot of stuff that you can do free. Instagram, we're creating Instagram posts, we'll be creating Pinterest posts, and just engagement through all of this stuff to attract more people, to get them to the websites where we'll actually sell them on products or services, or get them on the list so that we can actually engage with them that way as well. And you also want to use your partners, any partners you have, any friends to help you promote your show. Every time I have a guest on, I send them the images so they actually can promote the show as well to all of their following and all of their friends, to try to generate more interest for your show. So that's something that you can do as well. And you also want to seed, when you're promoting the show, you want to ensure that you're talking to your ideal target market, and you're attracting people who are your ideal customers to watch the show, because you're going to deliver on that, whatever that big promise is that you're going to deliver on. So throughout the show, you definitely want to seed the call to action at the end as the obvious next step for the people that are watching the show. So get your audience to help promote the show. So typically, what I say is, please like, love, share this, share it on your Facebook feed, send it to your friends, send it to anybody who might be interested or you might get some value out of this. So please share it, which actually I didn't say at this show. So the show is almost over, but please share this with everybody on your Facebook feed. It is greatly appreciated. You definitely want to use this for your customers, or get your customers to share it as well, to help promote it, especially if they're great customers, especially if they've given you testimonials. So getting testimonials from your audience will definitely help out in promoting your show, and even using case studies within your show. Those types of things can definitely help promote your show as well, to help build your audience. So you have to think of it in two different ways. There's promoting your show before the show airs, and then there's all the promotion that you do after your show is aired. So my strategy, my philosophy, the authority acceleration formula says that for every 1 hour of content you create, you need to do 10 hours of distribution and engagement. So whether you're doing some distribution and engagement prior to the show, or you're taking that 1 hour show, you're cutting it all up, you're repurposing it, and you're using it for engagement and distribution afterwards. So what you want to do is, if you're doing a 30-minute show, you want to make sure that you're doing at least 5 hours of promotion for that 30-minute show. Just not only promoting it at the beginning, but promoting it once it's already been aired, and using a variety of different promotion methods, such as creating social posts, creating images that are that relate to the content that you shared on the show, turning it into a video podcast or an audio podcast, creating a blog article or a couple of blog articles based on the content, and a blog article that's designed to get people to actually take action and get them to sign up for whatever it is, your product or your service, or get them to want to find out more information about your solution. So that's a little bit more about the promotion aspect. But the next thing we're going to talk about is the fourth step to creating a professional show is the influence, persuading, and entertaining your audience. So you want to get more comfortable on camera. So by doing that, you want to speak to one person. Typically, you want to speak to your ideal target market, your ideal client, or your avatar. So basically focus on your best client. There's a lot of stuff that we're talking about obviously is utilizing Facebook Live for business. So you're going to want to speak to your ideal target market or your best customer. So when you're talking to the camera, you want to make sure that you're talking to that one person. And you always want to use singular verbiage. So a lot of times you want to say you or me. So it's just like you're talking to that one person. So as you are watching the show, so there was two elements there. So as you notice I didn't point, I open hand and gestured towards you, but I said you, not everyone. So you makes it seem like I'm talking specifically to you versus everybody else that's watching the show. So as you are watching the show, you notice that I am talking specifically to you, not everybody. So you want to make sure that you're focused in on your ideal target market. And when you're talking on the camera, try to get comfortable and try to talk to that one person who, picture your best customer. If you haven't done the avatar exercise, just think of your very best customer, the one that you love the most, and pretend that you're talking to them on the other end of the camera. So generally, as I've said several times, Facebook is not designed to be selling, so there's not a lot of pitching throughout the show. It's not act now before these 10 things are sold. So it's generally providing value, and that's really what Facebook Live is all about, is delivering value to your audience, to your ideal target market, to you, and not trying to sell everything, but you don't want to, as I was talking about, you don't want to be general in what you're talking about. You want to be very specific, and you want to focus in on your ideal target market. So don't try to be everybody's friend. Just focus in on that one customer, and if it resonates with them, it's going to resonate with the type of people that you want to do business with. So we're talking about the fourth step, which is perform. That's really influencing, persuading, entertaining your audience. So as you're talking to the camera, you want to speak to the one, or your ideal target market, or your avatar. So you also want to think like a news anchor or a producer. You want to have things in sound bites or short segments. You want to keep it brief. You want to, what's in it for me sort of scenario. So you want to get to the point. You want to talk about how it's going to help your ideal target market. You tell them what you just told them, and you tell them again. So when I say keep it brief, one thing you'll notice is, as I mentioned before, I keep reintroducing the show. Well, that's to make sure that the segments are easily edited after the fact. And I'm trying to break it down so there's at least 6 different segments in the 1 hour show, because I have the intro and the outro as well. So trying to keep it brief, even though it's a 1 hour show, I'm trying to keep it brief within that time frame. As mentioned, it makes it much easier to edit the clips in the future. So for creating new content. So if you need some examples, just watch the news, for example, and just all the short little segments that the news has in a 30-minute show. So that's sort of how you want to try to structure your show as much as possible in shorter segments. Remembering your ideal client's desired outcome always, which a lot of times is freedom of some sort, time. They want to make more money so they can have more freedom with their family, whatever the benefits of your solution is that's going to get them the desired outcome. Always remember that. Always think about that when you're crafting your show. You want to practice it. You just want to be consistent and persistent. Just start the show, and if you're uncomfortable with speaking on camera, then it's going to be a hard time. But one thing I can let you know is that if you just start and you just keep doing it, it gets better and better. I remember, like, even when I started this show, I've been on camera many times. I've been on the TV several times. I've been on radio several times, and I've spoken in front of hundreds of people many times. But when I started my first Facebook Live show, I really didn't even have a structure. I was just on the camera, just talking. But it was really, it was actually just doing it. So what you need to do is just start doing it, practice, do it consistently, persistently, and it'll actually get better over time. But if you go into it having a structure, having an understanding of what it is you're trying to achieve through your show, then you'll have a much better show right at the very beginning. So practice speaking in front of others, practice in front of your family, and remember throughout the show, keep seeding sort of what the offer is going to be at the end, whether it be connecting with you, getting more information. Always talk about what it is that you want the person to take action on. So mention it several times throughout the show. You definitely want to use words like imagine, and you want to inspire people. You want to sell the dream. So is it easy? Does it work? And can I do it? Are three of the questions that people will ask on a regular basis. So this Facebook Live thing, is it easy? Yes, it is. Does it work? Yes, it does. Can I do it? Yes, you can. But then it's a matter of at what level do you want to do it? You just want to grab your camera and hit go live and then start talking, because that's as easy as it gets. It doesn't get any easier than that. Or do you want to actually have it more professional? Do you want to actually have a plan, a structure in place? It really depends on you, sort of how you want to actually do it. Throughout the experience, you want to try to overcome people's objections. You want to, talk about results continuously if you're, when you're teaching something, as to why you're teaching this stuff, why it's important to them, so that they are going to get this or achieve that. You're always thinking about the end in mind. Remember that, getting them to take action. And the last thing, body language, lean in. It's much easier for me because my hands are behind the camera because typically I'm just always moving my hands, but it would be distracting. So since the computer's there, you actually can't see it. So it's just easier for me. But you want to lean into the camera, so hopefully it's drawing you in. I'm not fidgeting. There's not a lot of gadgets around. The only prop I have is my phone. That's just so I can see the comments. Like Andy Lockwood seems to be leaving me a ton of comments right now, which I'll get to shortly. And be sure to smile, laugh, use props. And when it's all said and done, go through your videos after they've already been done, see what you can do better. And of course, dress for your audience, making sure you're wearing attire that is representative of you and your brand.